it takes courage to do what Rashida Tlaib did the other day.
Grace and courage, because there is no way I would have been able to hold it together and sitting there like that. No way. I would have ended up having to be escorted out of there for like starting with somebody. There is no way I could have kept it together with that man sitting there spewing lies and these morons clapping for him. And she held it together. I don't know that I wouldn't have. Who is that? What's that? Nadler? I'm pretty sure if I were sitting next to her, I'm not sure that I wouldn't have grabbed Nadler's tie and grabbed him in a headlock.
Well, I don't know. Nadler always seems like he's holding a book or something with him every time. He's like a college professor.
Well, maybe because he needs a whoopee. It's kind of like you and Kush. But what I know is that this woman here, Rashida Tlaib, has a level of composure and grace that I don't have. So it's funny because she's always been somebody that I've thought of as, being kind of raw, which I like, by the way, too. This is not a criticism. And she's said things in the past that were very kind of and badassery. And again, this is extremely badassery. I'm just so impressed by her composure because there's no, I don't know. The people would stand up and clap and I think I would just lose it.
We've met plenty of people that are in the Muslim community. We've met plenty of Palestinians, including one this evening who was very gracious and gave you a nice gift.
Okay. First of all, how awesome is it? So the Palestinian gentleman, he owns an olive oil company, and it's the olive oil from the trees in Palestine. So he's Palestinian, and it's a family business. And
Palestine doesn't exist. I thought that's just a made-up word.
Yeah, it's a made-up word. They just happen to have fictional olive trees. Well, the fictional olive trees actually produce real olive oil. So, yes, I got a nice, craft. It's like, what do you call it? It's not like it's craft beer, craft olive oil, I guess. Yeah. Craft olive oil. Yeah, it's very cool. And these people, I want to punch them. These people make me feel violent. Because to me, they're being violent. This is violence. This is violence. They're cheering for a genocide. That's violence. And so I feel like that makes me feel violent.
Well, she did have a few people that supported her. Not many. A handful of true working class left. You had Sarah Jacobs. You had Summer Lee. Obviously, he's still there. So Jamal Bowman. I'd like to think AOC, even though she clearly is, politically ambitious and wouldn't necessarily be there if it affected her career path in any way, but I digress on that one. You have Thomas Massey, probably the only member of the GOP. So there are people that are there that, are there with Rashida, but at the same time, it's such a minority compared to what we're faced with. Now, do I think most of these people truly care about Israel and Netanyahu and what they're doing? Probably not.
Well, half of them are seat fillers. A bunch of them are Christian Zionists, and a bunch of them are just political tools. So it's a combination of people being bought off by AIPAC and a bunch of, wackadoodle Zionists that need the Jews to all be in Israel. In any event, what I do know is none of it's based on reason. That's what I know. None of it's based on reason, and it's all based on tribalism and partisan theater. Again, that woman, kudos. She got grace, man.
She does. And tip of the hat. I am.
And by the way, not for nothing, I would sit with her if she asked me to. I wouldn't want to sit there and listen to him. Like, I might sit there with earplugs in so as to not have to hear him. But I would sit there and next to her wearing a keffiyeh, very happily holding up a guilty of genocide sign with her. I'd be very happy to do that. And I'll wear a big Jewish star around my neck with my keffiyeh.
Yeah, that's why we got to get you to Congress. Appreciate you coming on.
You want to see me wearing a Jewish star with a keffiyeh?
No, I just think that people need to know that there is leadership out there that's willing to take chances, even if it is going to run the risk of running them out of power, because that's really what it comes down to for so many people.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Well, that's part of the reason why Rashida's been able to stay in power in spite of all the things that she is willing to say and is willing to do, because she is the real deal. She is the genuine article, and her people believe in her, and they will support her. They will protect her. And I believe if you are fortunate enough to get to Congress, you will have a contingent of people that are in the district that believe in you and support you and will want you to be that leader that needs to say what needs to be said, even though there will be constant threats, constant talk of, we're going to do everything we can to ruin you and all that. But you know what? When you
Who's
have,
saying that to me?
I'm just saying that it could happen. I'm not saying.
Yeah, I don't care.
I didn't think you did.
Yeah, I really don't care.
And clearly Rashida doesn't care either. And that's what makes her, I've always said, how long have I been saying it? If there is a leader of the squad, if you want to call it that, it's clearly her. It's not even a question. She is very aware of how important her voice is. And she understands that she is putting herself in harm's way by doing it.
What bothers me is that more people in Congress obviously do not appreciate and respect how important her voice is.
What they also don't understand, and this is the whole thing, which just makes it so bizarre, she actually would stand a real fighting chance of building a movement if anybody else had a set of balls like she does, which a lot of them don't. Which they don't realize is that it's one thing if she's standing there alone, but if she had a dozen congressional representatives flanking her, holding up a genocide sign, that's powerful. Even if it's only 12, but it still represents a message that is going to resonate with people that they're going to have to cover and they're going to have to deal with. But what this whole moment represents more than anything else is that if you ever doubted that our system is bought and paid for by corporate special interests, well, you need look no further than Netanyahu, who has been charged with war crimes by every nation but ours, and is able to stand on the congressional floor, make a speech, and everybody claps like seals.